Well, it's morning, and despite a forecast of 5 degrees, my water was frozen this morning. Sun's been up for a couple hours, and I don't know if you can see it. My water bottle's still frozen. Heavy frost on everything. And last night, it wasn't too bad in my little tent. The gap here, some wind did blow in there, but it wasn't too bad. The worst thing was keeping my feet warm. I found that was the hardest thing. I didn't have my hoodie on last night, my black hoodie, so I crammed that down into the base of the sleeping bag, and that actually worked pretty well. But everything else was fine. The shotgun has still got frost on it. I had that laying right across the front there just to hold my ground sheet down from blowing up. So I got breakfast on the go here, boiling some water for hot chocolate and cook some more noodles, and then I'm gonna go for a little hunt. I'll try out that trail that I was looking at yesterday. I think it should be pretty good. There's lots of little birds kicking around, so I'll get back to you if I get anything. Well, I got a double-decker cooker on the go here. I got a cup of soup in the top, noodles in the bottom. All I did is I took I got the water just before it started boiling. I dumped it into the cover, and then I put the noodles in the bottom and a cup of soup in the top. Should work pretty good. This little stove's been working great. It's actually faster than the campfire which I used yesterday to cook my supper. The only thing is, not the stablest thing in the world. It's a little wobbly, but super convenient, super compact. Like I say, it fits right inside of the thing there, and pretty quick. So there's something kind of interesting I just wanted to share. You see the shape of these maple leaves and how green this little tree is? And the maple leaves themselves are huge. They're at least as big as my hand, some of them, and they're kind of rounded. They're not very pointed. This is a Norwegian maple tree. They're nice trees, nothing wrong with them, and they're all over the place here. There's every other tree in this little spot is Norwegian maple, but you cannot get maple syrup out of these trees. So you don't see them very often, or at least I don't notice them very often, so just wanted to share that with you guys. Thought somebody might enjoy it. I found a regular maple leaf, and you compare that to the Norwegian maple, you can see the size difference there. Twice the size, and the regular maple leaf is a lot pointier compared to this. So I just got back from my little trip. I've seen half a dozen grouse, but normal for this area. They take off when you get about 40 meters from them, so you can never get a shot at the damn things. The only time I've ever had any success hunting them is two people walking about 50 meters apart, and sometimes they'll fly towards the other person. But anyway, I've seen a few rabbits and I've seen a pheasant, but no batteries are almost dead, and I just made a phone call calling for rain Saturday tomorrow and next week. So I'm going to have to cut the trip short. I'm going to break down camp, and I'm going to head north. Should be about 4 kilometers, and see if I can find anything worth videoing on the way. The tarp is getting pretty ripped up. I'll probably just make a little fire and get rid of the tarp so I don't have to carry it out. And I guess that'll be it. I'll do a little conclusion at the end. I'll put some narrations in here and there where they need to be, but I guess for now, let's keep watching and stay tuned for the next video. Well, I'm at the head of a little tiny brook here, about 2 miles back in the woods. No trail to be seen anywhere, and just happened to walk right up on a little tiny bridge. It's kind of neat. Other than that little thing right there, it doesn't look like anyone's used it for quite some time, so thought I'd share that. Well, I made it out. I'm on the road. Just popped out of there. Not a whole lot of wildlife. I've seen quite a few deer tracks, anywhere where they're crossing like trap, you know what I mean, mud. And a lot of coyote tracks, so that explains why there wasn't much else in there. That's my ride texting me back. So I'll do a little conclusion when I get home, and I guess that's it. My 3-day trip only ended up being 2 days, but I don't want to get caught in the rain. Not going to be any fun tonight, all night, tomorrow when it's raining. So. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and like I say, I'll do a little conclusion video. It'll be a couple days before I get it all posted, but I'll get her up there. Okay, so this will be my little conclusion, you know, kind of a learning curve at the end of it there. I can't say as though I wasn't prepared. I took plenty of stuff in. I actually took more stuff than I needed. My little candle lantern, I would have used that had I had somewhere to hang it. If I'd have stayed the full night, I was planning on taking a stick and kind of wedging it up through the crack in my tent and into the tent, so I had something to hang it off of, but I ended up getting rained out, so that didn't happen. So I didn't really get a good review on that one yet. There was the little fire starters that I mentioned in the video. They're just garbage. They wouldn't light. I had a fire going. They were sitting in that fire smoldering for 5 minutes before they actually lit. When they did light, you know, they burnt well, but what's the good of a fire starter if you need a start or need a fire to get the things going? Those little towelettes, the magic towels, whatever they worked very well. The one thing that failed me were the boots. I usually go low tech on the boots. You know, they weren't expensive, they were only $50, but when I buy boots like that, I always check in the heels. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. Some shoes are made with little plastic squares or rubber squares with just a cardboard insole or plastic insole over them. These ones, it didn't look that way. It had kind of like a felt insole and it was sewed in, so I couldn't really check. And going through the woods, they were fine, but I walked probably another 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers along the road before I got picked up, and my feet were just killing me. I threw the boots in the garbage. They were no good. So that was the one thing that really failed. The food, you know, the noodles were getting old. Not old, like no good, just I wanted something else. I was kind of craving meat. I knew the likelihood of actually finding some game was pretty low, just because the only season that's open is grouse, and they're really hard to get by yourself. I mentioned that in the video. You pretty much need 2 people or a dog or something to hunt grouse. If I'd have waited any longer to go, you know, waited for rabbit and pheasant to get open, I could have got some, but then the weather was a lot colder, and it wouldn't have been very nice. The weather itself, it was forecast for 5 degrees. That's kind of why I waited so long. I went a little later than I was expecting, but it wasn't 5 degrees. It was, I checked here at home, and home in the valley is usually 5 or 6 degrees warmer. And asked the wife, she said it was -2 at home. And like I said, my water had frozen. It was friggin' cold. I was cuddled up in my sleeping bag with my liner and my toque on, and you know, that was fine. The only thing that really got cold were my toes, so I was able to take my spare hoodie that I wasn't wearing and cram it down for some extra insulation, so that was fine. The tart tint itself, what can I say about that? Well, great survival shelter, shitty tint. The big thing with that wasn't that it didn't keep me dry, it didn't not block the wind. It's so fucking noisy. It kept me up half the night because I had 25-kilometer-hour winds that night, and the tarp was just noisy. You get a little break in the wind for a few minutes and be almost asleep, and then and wide awake again. So that was kind of an annoyance. So if I did it again, I'd go with the extra weight and take the tent. Or possibly a different type of tarp, like a lightweight hunting tarp that's made out of a type of nylon, or hiking or mountain climbing or whatever they use them for. A lightweight nylon may be the thing. It would be lighter, smaller, more compact, and not so goddamn noisy. The one thing that I kind of wish I'd have taken with me was a seat. I have my little thermal seat, but that's just a foam pad, 1 inch thick. One of the little, like the little triangular stools, fold-up stools. Should have took one of them, because I was constantly doing something. I get my dinner and I'd be looking around. Damn, I wish I had somewhere to sit down. You know, sit next to the fire but no. So next time if I do it, I'm gonna take one of those. You know, being alone is, you know, it's nice, it's great, but something like that, that's really something that would come into its own with 2 people. Just because I had to carry so much gear, and I didn't use all of it. Well, I didn't stay there the whole time, but the jackknife I used, you know, quite a bit. The actual leather handle knife I used quite a bit. The hatchet I didn't use all that much, but if I hadn't had that dead tree there, I would have had to use it a lot. The stuff I didn't use much were very small things, so it really didn't matter. But yeah, I guess that's about it. If you got any questions, please leave them down the bottom. You know, make comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. So thanks for watching, guys, and please subscribe and like my videos, and stay tuned. I'll have more stuff coming up. I haven't been to the range lately, but well, I got to go sight in my rolling block with the new sights I put on it, so that should come out in the next couple days too. So stay tuned. Thanks.